that make all this possible. Avani, Rupa, and Rita Goyal. Without sponsors, ICA and Diwali would not be possible. So first, allow me to bring to the stage Miss Avani Rupa.
Hello everyone, how are you? So I'm really excited. I've honestly been coming to ICA Diwali for like 15 years now. And it's really crazy and odd sitting on the other side as a married woman and seeing all these kids on stage. I can call them kids now, and it's amazing. And this year has been by far one of the best. I mean, they've done such a good job. Today I'm just going to go into a short story about pretty much who am I? This is not an easy question. There is no right answer, there is no wrong answer. However, I believe the answer lies in the journey. Let me take you on this journey. Let's start back in the 90s. Yes, I am a 90s baby. I am a millennial in every sense of the word. I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on April 18th, 1990, a Wednesday, I think. But soon after, I moved to the Magic City at the young age of 2, Birmingham, Alabama, my one and only hometown. Now on paper, I looked like the typical red-blooded American, right? Well, the constant mispronunciation of my name begged to differ, of the knee having to constantly point. I was not just a typical American girl. I was an American Indian girl with a very different cultural background. This is what my life looked like. I lived in a full house. My parents, my older brother, and 2 sets of grandparents. This was my happy place, where stories from different generations were being told around the dinner table while enjoying Gujarati Indian food made from recipes passed down for generations. Now, when it was time for school in the mornings, I had a different side of Avani show up. My English-speaking side, with a little twang of Southern accent coupled with words like y'all. This, my friend, is the perfect description of growing up in a bicultural environment. I mean, I was different compared to many of those around me, but this made me feel special and empowered, not embarrassed or scared. I slowly came to a point in my life when I had to begin thinking about my career. I come from an entire family in the medical field, so naturally, young me entering 9th grade at Vestavia Hills High School signs up for every advanced level science and math course possible, thinking my path was doctor. But then, this superwoman, she appeared out of plain sight. No, literally, I've been staring at her my entire life. This woman, at the age of 41, decided she was going to start her own business. Not just any business, but a fine jewelry business. Now you think, who is this superwoman? Well, she is none other than my mother, Rupa Patel. She had this blaring passion and drive I had yet to see in anyone. This quickly brought up the question, am I really meant to be a doctor? As the years went on, my superwoman mother developed this fine jewelry business as I stood alongside her, learning and taking in all the knowledge I could. Then there was a spark, a light bulb you could call it. Something inside me told me that jewelry and entrepreneurship was the path I needed to follow. It was 2012, the year the world was ending, but mine was just beginning. I moved to California to complete my graduate gemology diploma and continued on to learn about the art of jewelry design. This was when I learned how to create jewelry with paper, pencils, watercolors, and CAD/CAM programs. This was the year my passion was solidified by real education, backing, and credentials. After my incredible year at GIA, I jumped into my mother's business in Hoover, Alabama, as a full-time designer, salesperson, and manager. As I spent countless hours working, I started to ask myself, who am I? Who am I now? Now this is when I really had to step back and figure out who I was. I mean, in middle and high school, I was comfortable just being an American Indian woman. But now I was so much more. I was developing into an entrepreneur with a voice and a vision. What was my voice and vision? Before I can fast forward to the present and share the answer to that question, there is a part of the story we have to fill in. How did we end up in Mountain Brook Village? I vividly remember having this conversation from my car outside our old store in Hoover, Alabama with my parents. I was explaining to them how the jewelry we were designing was so unique and high-end that it just felt like we belonged somewhere else. We found the perfect spot a few weeks later, and before we knew it, we were signing our lease. Now I felt I had the ultimate challenge. I needed to make sure we were ready as a company for a move. I needed to take the business to the next level. We quickly moved in to implementing my vision by starting with a complete rebranding, including a name change from Reflections to Avani Rupa Fine Jewelers. A new logo, color scheme, and style guide was developed. Then we went on redefining our space as modern with a sense of Southern comfort. A company named Avani Rupa Fine Jewelers, owned by 2 Indian women, two mother-daughter Indian women were about to shake things up in Mountain Brook Village. November 16th, 2015, that marks the day this mother-daughter design team opened their doors in the village with excitement, determination, but also with fears and uncertainties. Now let's fast forward to the present, and let me answer that question I posed to you a little while ago. Who am I now? The question is not answered with words, but through the art of jewelry design. My designer pieces reflect a modern style paired with this old world opulence inspired from my Indian culture and heritage. I am able to create these complex pieces of jewelry because they represent who I am. I am a complex young woman, designer and business owner. What seemed like barriers at first have now turned into opportunities. My cultural background has set me apart not only as an entrepreneur, but also as a jeweler in Mountain Brook Village, Birmingham in the South. So I ask all of you out there, especially the students at UAB, what do you think is success? What is your passion? Don't be scared. These barriers we fight so hard to break down, well, listen to me today. They're all there for a reason. They're there to make us strong, determined, and successful young people who will never take no for an answer. So I tell you today, stand strong, stand determined, stand united in who you are to pursue your passions by not only breaking barriers, but also conquering them. Thank you and happy Diwali.
Thank you so much to Avani and Rupa. Up next, we have Dr. Rita Goyal. And backstage, she was telling me that she has a story she wants to share with you. So without further ado, Dr. Rita Goyal.
Thanks, Michael. So, my story actually started here at UAB. My husband and I met here 25 years ago, and the Alice Stevens Center had not yet been built. We started a little organization with our friends the Nandas and Snehal Khatri. Do you know what the name of that organization was?
Was it the ICA?
It was the ICA, and look at the ICA now. One of the beautiful things about growing up in Alabama was the multicultural aspect of growing up. And what I've loved about this show tonight is the whole first half was all different cultures of India, all different age groups. We had aunties, we had little kids, we had everybody. That's what India's about, and that's what Alabama is about. Alabama is about embracing multiculturalism. And something really important is going on in Alabama right now.